Biology Part 217. The second locus is occupied in the LLAs, B capital or B lowercase, responsible for black or brown pigmentation. If C, the domination of LLIs for color code, is present at the third locus, then the phenotype of the mouse is determined by the LLAs at the other two loci. However, the homozygous recessive genotype CC at this locus produces a white or albino coat regardless of the LLIs present. In other words, the albino LLI suppresses the action of the other genes. Number 4, polygenic inheritance. In many organisms, characteristics like height and mass do not vary in an obviously Mendelian fashion. Often there is no separation into sharply distinct categories such as red and white flowers, smooth and wrinkled seeds, or tall and dwarf individuals. Instead, there is a complete range of the intermediate phenotype as shown in the figure. This is known as continuous variation. The observed phenotypes usually conform to a bell-shaped curve called the normal distribution curve. Most males have height close to the average or mean value, with fewer either very short or very tall. This pattern is typical of the polygenic inheritance in which many genes interact. Sometimes the existence of the gene's responsibility can be demonstrated, but in many cases this is impossible. A further problem is that many normally distributed characteristics are influenced by the environment, so that it becomes difficult to separate genetic from environmental effects. Nevertheless, the polygenic inheritance plays an essential part in extending the range of variation, providing raw material for the action of evolutionary forces. The evolution, variation, and natural selection. Evolution, variation, and natural selection, and now we discuss the evolution and adaptation. Biologists define evolution in two different ways. Number one, evolution is a process of gradual change whereby the organisms of one species remain suited or adapted to their environment. Number two, evolution is the process of the results in the development of new species from previous forms. This is called speciation. I beg your pardon, please. This is called the speciation and is assumed to explain the appearance of new kinds of organisms during the history of life on Earth. These types of evolutionary changes are not alternative but are complementary, and both must be explained by any satisfactory theory of evolution. This tutorial outlines the Neo-Darwinian theory and describes the main mechanisms which contribute to the adaptation. It considers the concept of biological species in detail. The idea of the adaptation can be illustrated in reference to almost any part of the organism structure. For example, a bird's wing is suited to flight both in the general and detailed structure. The overall shape of the wing provides lift and can be altered appropriately for takeoff or for level flight. The primary feathers are light and strong, while the smaller contour feathers give a smooth aerodynamic profile. In addition, the supporting bones have internal struts which improve their mechanical properties without increasing their mass. In most birds, the flight muscles are large and powerful, with the largest part of their bulk concentrated close to the base of the wings. where the muscles are attached to specially modified sternum. It is important to ask how all these features first developed and how they came to be shared almost by all birds.